relay based output module, that may be triac based output module, or that may be ट्रान्झिस्टर बेस आउटपुट मॉड्यूल. ओके, तीन टाईपचे आउटपुट मॉड्यूल असू शकतात. एका याच्यामध्ये रिले असेल, रिले बेस आउटपुट मॉड्यूल पण असू शकतात काही याच्यामध्ये. काही केसमध्ये ट्रायक बेस असतील आणि काही केसमध्ये ट्रान्झिस्टर बेस आउटपुट मॉड्यूल. सो इफ इट इज द ट्रायक बेस आउटपुट मॉड्यूल, दॅट कॅन बी यूज ओनली फॉर AC सप्लाय, for driving the AC load. Okay, if it is the triac based output module, then that output module is used only for AC load. If it is the transistor based output module, then it is used for only for DC load. And if it is the relay based output module, that module may be used for AC as well as DC load. Okay, relay based output module जर तुम्ही select केला PLC with the relay based output module, you can control AC devices as well as DC devices with the PLC. If you have selected the PLC with the triac output module, then you can control only AC devices. And if you have selected the PLC with the transistor output module, you can connect only DC loads or DC devices to this one. Okay, so now we are going to consider one of the most important thing over here, and this is very important. So what you are going to do, we have two types of connection. Last time we have discussed about this interposing relay also. So what is the interposing relay and all these things that we are going to discuss over here. So if I want to control the heavy devices with the help of my PLC, heavy loads जर मला control करायचं असेल with the help of PLC, so I need to connect the interposing relay to the output of PLC, and that interposing relay's contact can be used for starting or controlling my motor. Okay, so this interposing relay can be used in between your PLC and the actual load. Okay, so individual AC output usually limited by the size of the triac. So if I want to consider the AC output, that is motor, it is limited by the size of the triac, and that might be maximum 1 ampere or 2 ampere. The maximum current load for any one module is also specified, and basically this is the individual output. Okay, and for as a whole, now in the last lecture we have discussed that there may be fuse. Some PLCs have individual fuse for individual output, or some PLC have a single fuse for the entire module. Okay, so the maximum current load for any module is also specified. So if it has the 8 output and having 1 ampere, so it fuse may be 10 ampere module fuse. Okay, to protect the output module circuit, specified current rating should not be exceeded. And if I need to protect my output module, okay, मला जर PLCच्या आउटपुट मॉड्यूलला प्रोटेक्ट करायचं असेल तर माझी काय आय नीड टू टेक केअर दॅट माय करंट शुड नॉट एक्सीड द स्पेसिफाईड लिमिट. से इन युअर होम, तुमच्या घरामध्ये MCB लावलेली असतं. ओके, इफ इट इज अ 5 ampere MCB, if it is the 5 ampere MCB, it can safely carry 5 ampere current for continuously or for infinite period of time. But if your current magnitude will be 10 ampere, it will instantly trip. Okay, but what happens, this is used for protection purpose. If that devices are working on 5 ampere and if the 10 ampere current is flowing, then the device may get damaged because of this excessive current. So what you need to do, we need to disconnect the supply, and for that purpose we are going to use either fuse, or nowadays we are going to use the MCB, that is miniature circuit breaker. For controlling larger load such as motor, a standard control relay is connected to the output. Okay, so basically what happen in the industry, there are large motors. The motors rating may be 10 ampere, 20 ampere, 400 ampere, HP, 10 HP, 20 HP, 100 HP, 400 HP, like that. If I want to control such type of large motor, then I cannot directly connect this motor control to the PLC. So in between I need to put a relay that is called as the control relay, and that relay is called as the interposing relay. The contact of the relay can be used to control the larger load or the motor starter, and the contact of this relay can be used to control the larger load and motor starter. This, when the control relay is used in this manner, it is called as the interposing relay. ओके, आणि त्या केसमध्ये आपण जर असा रिले यूज करत असेल तर त्या रिलेला काय म्हणतात, इंटरपोजिंग रिले. सो इन दिस डायग्राम इट वॉज शोन ओव्हर हियर. दिस इज माय कंट्रोल रिले, okay, which is connected to the output module of my PLC. The output of PLC output will activate or deactivate this control relay. And when this control relay is energized, its auxiliary contact will either close or open depending on this one, whether you are using NC or NO. So here I am going to use NO. So when this relay get activated, this NO contact will close and the motor starter will get energized. Okay, and your actual motor will start. Okay, so you are going to use such type of control relay, and that control relay is called as interposing relay, and that can be used only when we need to control the larger load, heavy load, with the help of PLC. Discrete output modules are used to turn field output devices on and off. Whatever the discrete output module we are going to use, these modules can turn on the field devices or turn off the field devices. This module can be used to control any two-state device. Okay, so whatever these modules that you are going to use, they can be used to control the two-state device. Two-state device means what? Device may be on state or this device may be have off state. त्या डिव्हाइसच्या दोन स्टेट असतील, एक तर ऑन असेल किंवा ऑफ असेल, अँड दे आर अवेलेबल इन AC अँड DC अँड इन व्हेरियस व्होल्टेज अँड करंट रेटिंग. आणि ते जे मॉड्यूल्स आहेत ते AC मध्ये पण अवेलेबल आहेत आणि DC मध्ये पण अवेलेबल आहे, अँड विथ द व्हेरी व्होल्टेज रेंज, दॅट इज 12 व्होल्ट, 24 व्होल्ट, 48 व्होल्ट, 230 volt DC and 110 volt AC, 230 volt AC. These are the various range of voltage these are available, as well as current rating also available. Output module can be purchased with transistor. So if you want to use the output module may be transistor based, it may be triac based, or it may be relay based. So these three types of output module which are commonly used in the industries are shown over here. So this is my relay based output module. This relay based output module can be used for AC devices, output devices, as well as DC output devices. If I am going to use the triac based output module, the triac based output module can only use for AC devices. And if I am going to select the transistor based output module, that can be used only for DC output devices. Triac output can be used only for AC devices. This can be shown. Now this is the MCQ question. Okay, so if you want to control the AC load, which output module you are going to use, or triac based output module can be used only for, okay, option may be DC load, second option AC load, third option AC DC load, and fourth option none of the above. So you need to just in this case you can just select for your go for your answer, that triac output module can only use for AC devices. Okay, then whereas the transistor output can be used to control DC devices, आणि ट्रान्झिस्टर जर असेल तर तो फक्त DC devices control करतो. Transistor based output module can be used only for DC devices. The discrete output output module uses electromechanical as a switching element. Okay, so whatever the discrete module, relay module जर असेल माझं, okay, if I am going to select the relay module, so in the relay module there is a electromechanical element which can be used as a switching element, which will switch from on state to off state, off state to on state. This relay output can be used for AC DC devices, and this is the universal. They can be used for AC supply as well as DC supply, but they have much slower time compared to the solid state output. But they have one disadvantages. The time of operation of these devices is in the millisecond. Okay, so the operating time of these devices is say 1 millisecond, 5 millisecond, like this one, or 10 millisecond, because the time required to energize the coil, the magnetic field is produced, and then the switching action will take place. Okay, so there is a physical movement, so physical movement requires some time, so comparatively they are slower. If you are going to compare with the solid state devices, the operating time of solid state devices is in the microsecond. ओके, सॉलिड स्टेट डिव्हाइसेस मध्ये जे आपण डिव्हाइसेस यूज करतो, जसं ट्रान्झिस्टर असेल, IGBT असेल, ओके, तर त्यामध्ये जो टाइम आहे, दॅट टाइम इज इन द or triac is there, that time is in the microsecond. So if you are going to compare with the solid state devices, the operating time of your electromagnetic or relay based devices is comparatively less. Allen-Bradley modules are color coded for identification as follow. Now if you are going to use the Allen-Bradley PLC, now in case of Allen-Bradley PLC, they have given the colors for various output modules. So if it is a red color represents that all the modules are AC input module and output module. If you are going to use the blue color indicates all the modules are DC input modules. If you are going to use the orange color represent it is the relay based module. If you are going to use the green color is the special module. Special modules may be PI module, PID module, timer module, counter module, various module that we are going to discuss. And if you are going to use the black color, these are IO wiring terminal blocks are not removable. Okay, so these are the kind of convention used by Allen Bradley. Different manufacturer may use different convention. These are not standard convention. Okay, these are used by the Allen Bradley over there. Now certain DC IO modules specify whether the modules is designed for interfacing with the current source or current sink devices. Now this is very important when you are going to actually work in the industry, whether it is a sourcing type or it is the sinking type. Okay, source means what? Through which the current is supplied, and sink means it is going to absorb the current. So certain digital IO module specify whether the module can be used for interfacing with the current source or they are going to use for the current sink. Okay, sourcing करता use केलेले आहेत की sinking. If the module is current sourcing module, okay, so if my module is a current sourcing module, then input and output devices must be current sinking devices. तुमचा मॉड्यूल जर करंट सोर्सिंग आहे म्हणजे तो करंट सप्लाय करत आहे. इफ द मॉड्यूल इज सप्लाइंग करंट, इफ द करंट इज फ्लोइंग थ्रू द मॉड्यूल, इफ माय मॉड्यूल इज सप्लाइंग द करंट, then my devices should be current sinking. The devices should absorb the current, the devices should get the current. Okay, is it clear? करंट सोर्सिंग मॉड्यूल जर असेल तर डिव्हाइसेस जे तुम्ही करंट कनेक्ट करणार आहेत ते सिंकिंग मध्ये करायला पाहिजे. And conversely, if the module is specified at current sinking, then the connected devices must be current sourcing. Okay, आणि जर तुमचा मॉड्यूल करंट सिंकिंग असेल तर तुम्ही जे डिव्हाइसेस कनेक्ट केलेले आहेत ते करंट सोर्सिंग असायला पाहिजे, म्हणजे त्या डिव्हाइसेस मधनं करंट फ्लो होऊन तो तुमच्या PLC मॉड्यूल मध्ये यायला पाहिजे. Okay, so some modules allows the user to select whether the module will act as a current sourcing or current sinking, thereby allowing you to set whether the field device is required. Okay, so काही module मध्ये they are given the options to the user. That option may be what? The option may be the user will select whether it may be current sinking type or whether it may be current sourcing type, and based on that the user will select the field devices, whether the devices should be current sourcing type or current sinking type. The internal circuitry of, now in this case the internal circuitry of some field devices required that they can be used current sourcing and current sinking. Now what is in the internal circuitry? Generally sinking is NPN and sourcing is PNP. Okay, so if I am going to use the NPN type circuitry, then that may be sinking type, and if I am going to use PNP type circuitry, then there may be a sourcing type. So you have studied this in the electronics, that NPN transistor, PNP transistors and all these things. So generally sinking means NPN and sourcing means PNP are the term used to describe the current signal flow relationship between the field input devices. Okay, what does it define? It will define the terms. It is used to describe how the current is flowing and what is the relationship between the field input output devices in the control circuit and their power supply. Okay, so in the figure they have shown over here, figure 2.20 illustrate the current flow relationship between sinking and sourcing input to the DC input module. Okay, so in the figure, if you are going to go through the figure 2.23, just we will go through this one. Okay, what it illustrate? It will illustrate the current flows relationship between the sinking and sourcing input of a DC input module, and figure 2.21 illustrates the current flow relationship between sinking and sourcing output to a DC. So 2.20 represent input module and 2.21 represent your output module over here. Okay, how to make the connection for output module and how to make the connection for input module for current sourcing as well as current sinking. DC input and output circuits are commonly connected with the field devices. Okay, so basically what happened, whatever the devices, in most of the cases in industry, whatever the devices that we are going to use, input devices or output devices, those are DC. Okay, are commonly connected with the field devices that have some form of internal solid state circuit that needs a DC signal voltage to function. Okay, so inside this circuitry there is a SSD, solid state circuitry, and this solid state circuit requires the DC signal voltage for the functioning purpose. Field devices connected to the positive of the supply side are classified as sourcing field devices. जर मी पॉझिटिव्ह सप्लायला पॉझिटिव्ह साईडला कनेक्ट केलं, फील्ड डिव्हायसेसला मी पॉझिटिव्हला कनेक्ट केलं तर त्यांना म्हणतात सोर्सिंग डिव्हायसेस, आणि फील्ड डिव्हायसेसला निगेटिव्हला कनेक्ट केलं तर दीज आर कॉल्ड एज द सिंकिंग डिव्हायसेस. Okay, so if I will connect the devices to the positive side, then they are called as sourcing devices, and if I will connect it to the sinking side, then these are called as the sinking devices. Now if you are going to see over here, this is my sourcing sensor, input is sourcing. Okay, device जर सोर्स करत असेल तर तुमचा मॉड्यूल सिंकिंग असायला पाहिजे. ओके, म्हणजे मॉड्यूलने करंट consume करायला पाहिजे. So here I have connected positive terminal of my supply to the input of the say my sensor. सेन्सरचा इनपुट टर्मिनल सप्लायच्या पॉझिटिव्हला कनेक्ट आहे, म्हणजे करंट कसा फ्लो होणार आहे, करंट फ्लो होणार आहे पॉवर सप्लाय मधनं सेन्सरमध्ये, आणि सेन्सर सप्लाय करणार आहे करंट मॉड्यूलला. सेन्सर विल सप्लाय द करंट टू द मॉड्यूल. सो मॉड्यूल इज ऍब्सॉर्बिंग द करंट, म्हणजे सोर्स कोण झालाय सेन्सर, आणि ऍब्सॉर्ब कोण करतंय मॉड्यूल. म्हणून मॉड्यूल कुठल्या टाईपचा झाला माझा, सिंकिंग टाईप मॉड्यूल. ओके, आणि मॉड्यूल मधनं मग करंट कसा फ्लो होणार आहे तुमचं, the module through the module my current will flow, just wait. Okay, from your terminal 1 to the common. So internally these terminal 1 and commons are connected. Now when they are connected internally, okay, so when they are connected internally, what is going to be happen over here, so my current will flow in this manner. Okay, from 1 to, I need to change the color, from 1 to common and common to the negative of the supply. So this is my sinking module over here. Now in second case I have changed the connection. How I have changed the connection? In second case my negative is connected to the सेन्सर. निगेटिव्ह साईड कशाला कनेक्ट केलेली आहे मी, सेन्सरला. आता जर मी निगेटिव्ह साईड सेन्सरला कनेक्ट केली तर सेन्सर माझा झाला सिंकिंग टाईप. ओके, माय सेन्सर इज सिंकिंग. माय who is supplying the current, the module is supplying the current, so the common terminal of the module is connected to the positive, so my current will flow in this manner. My current will flow from positive of the module, say positive of your power supply positive to common to your one terminal 1 of module, terminal 1 to the sensor, and sensor through the power supply. So here my current is consumed by the sensor. Okay, so it is called as the sinking type sensor. Okay, so remember one thing, if your positive terminal of the sensor is connected to the power, say positive one terminal of the sensor is connected to the positive of supply, then it is called as the sourcing sensor, and in that case the module should be sinking type. And if you are connected the negative of the sensor to the power supply, then it is called as the sinking type sensor, and your source should be positive type over here. Okay, so this thing you need to keep in mind, that when you are supplying the current to from the module to the sensor, then module is sourcing type and sensor is sinking type. Okay, so now this is for input. Now what is for output? Okay, for output, what is the thing which is going to be happen over here? In case of output, what I am going to do, I will connect the positive. Okay, so in case of sourcing output module मध्ये आपण काय करतोय, in case of sourcing output module, my current is supplied from the module to the field devices, whatever the field devices are there. So positive of the supply is connected to the module, the current is flowing from module to the devices. Say my current is flowing from module to terminal 1 to the device, and device to the negative. So here my current is supplied by the module, and the field devices will consume the current, so it is called as the sinking type devices. So in that case we need to use the sinking type module. Okay, now if I have connected negatives of the supply to the module, common terminal of module, if I have connected the negative of the supply to the common terminal of module, so at that time the positive of the power supply is connected to the devices. So at that time the devices will supply the power to the module, and the direction of current flow will be from positive of power supply to the sourcing devices to the terminal 1 to the common terminal to the negative. So this is the direction of current flow. Means you are supplying the current to the module. Okay, as my current is supplied to the module, so it is called as sinking. Module is using the current, module is absorbing the current, module is consuming the current. So it is called as the sinking type module, and your devices are called as sourcing type. And in this case, my module is supplying the current to the devices, so it is called as the sourcing type module. करंट जर मॉड्यूल मधनं डिव्हायसेस कडे फ्लो होत असेल तर त्याला म्हणतात सोर्सिंग, आणि करंट जर डिव्हायसेस पासून मॉड्यूल मध्ये फ्लो होत असेल तर त्याला म्हणतात सिंकिंग टाइप मॉड्यूल. ओके, इज इट क्लियर? इज इट क्लियर?
Yes,
Some,
sir.
okay, this is very important thing actually in the field when you are going to work as a PLC programmer or PLC installation maintenance work, then these things are very important. Okay, concept of sourcing and concept of sinking. Remember, these concepts are not understood by many graduate student also. ओके, ज्यांचं बीई झालेलं असेल फायनल इयर आणि जे जॉब करत असतील त्यांना सुद्धा बऱ्यापैकी कन्सेप्ट मध्ये क्लिअर नाहीये. त्यामुळे यू कॅन जस्ट ट्राय टू अंडरस्टँड दिस कन्सेप्ट. दीज आर व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट थिंग्स. ओके, नाउ what is the next thing that we are going to discuss over here is say we are discuss about the concept of sourcing and sinking. Now in industry what happened, we don't use only the DC devices, or we don't use only discrete, means digital components. Sometimes I have to use analog modules also. In case of analog module, what is the basic difference between the analog module and digital module? Digital module has two stable states, on and off. डिजिटल मॉड्यूलला दोन स्टेट्स असतात, एक तर ऑन असेल किंवा ऑफ असेल. लॅम्प एक तर ऑन असेल किंवा लॅम्प एक तर ऑफ असेल. ती थर्ड स्टेज इज नॉट देअर. okay, but in some cases I need to use a multiple steps. I need to use the multiple step. So my output should vary with respect to time. So these are called as analog. Now temperature, my temperature should not be directly 0 degree or 30 degree. Okay, so it will vary with respect to time in the particular manner. So when I will switch on, instantly my temperature does not reaches to 30 degree, and when I am going to switch off it does not reaches to the 0 degree. Similar to the fan, if I am going to switch on the fan does not run with the full speed. Okay, its speed will gradually increases, and when I am going to switch off the fan does not completely go to the standstill within a fraction of second. It takes some time. So velocity is there, acceleration is there, pressure is there, temperature is there. Okay, so these devices, these parameters does not change their state suddenly. It requires some time. Okay, some time for them to change their state from maximum to minimum. ओके, या स्टेट मध्ये आहे ना त्यांना मॅक्झिमम पासून मिनिमम पर्यंत जायला थोडा वेळ लागतो आणि त्याला म्हणतात एनालॉग. सो इन केस ऑफ एनालॉग सिग्नल व्हॉट हॅपन, these are time dependent. Okay, so they require certain specific time to reach from their maximum state to the minimum state. They have given the example of level. ओके, सो युअर लेवल डज नॉट, आता मी वरची पाण्याची टाकी असेल सपोज माझ्या घरी आणि मला ती फिल करायची, मी बटन ऑन केल्याबरोबर पाण्याची टाकी completely filled होईल का? If it is completely empty, I switch on the button, is it completely filled within the fraction of moment? No, it takes some time. Okay, its level go on increasing with respect to time. So level असेल, pressure असेल, temperature असेल, acceleration असेल, speed असेल. So these are called as the analog parameters. Now earlier PLC, in the early days of PLC, earlier PLCs are limited to discrete or digital input output only, which allowed only on and off of the devices to be connected. So when the PLCs are invented late in the 1960, at that time this PLC can be used only for switching on and off of the devices, having the only two stable states, on state and off state. This limitation means PLC could only partial control of many process application. Now with this limitation, we don't have the complete control, we have the partial control. Okay, because in the process industry there are so many parameters which are analog in nature. Today, however, a complete range of both discrete and analog interface are available that will allows the controller to be applied to practically any type of control process. Discrete devices are input and output that have only two states. ओके डिस्क्रीट डिव्हाइसेस काय आहेत ज्यांना फक्त दोन स्टेट्स आहेत, एक तर ऑन स्टेट किंवा ऑफ स्टेट. सिंपल एक्झाम्पल आपण दिलंय लॅम्पचं. लॅम्प एक तर ऑन असेल किंवा ऑफ असेल, त्याला तिसरी स्टेट नाहीये. इन कंपॅरिझन अॅनालॉग डिव्हाइसेस रिप्रेझेंट फिजिकल क्वांटिटीज दॅट हॅव इन्फायनाइट नंबर ऑफ व्हॅल्यूज. ओके, आणि त्या रिस्पेक्टमध्ये आपण अॅनालॉग जर बघितलं तर अॅनालॉगला आपल्याला दोन स्टेप नाही सांगता येत. इट हॅज इन्फायनाइट स्टेप्स ऑफ व्हॅल्यूज. Okay, infinite number of values. Typically analog input output vary from, this is very important over here, analog output vary from 0 to 20 milliampere, or it may be 4 to 20 milliampere, or 0 to 10 volt. Okay, 0 to 20 milliampere, 0 to 4 to 20 milliampere, or 0 to 10 volt. In this way the analog signal will vary in terms of voltage. Now figure 2.22, this is the figure 2.22 analog input output module of your PLC. Represent how a PLC analog input output modules are used for measuring and displaying the level of the fluid in the tank. Now they have discussed one application. What is the application? We need to measure and display the level of fluid in the tank. Whatever the fluid, that may be water, that may be milk, that may be anything. The analog input interface module contain the circuitry necessary to accept the analog voltage. Okay, so what is in the analog input module? As we have already discussed, my controller does not understand the analog signal. Okay, माझा controller जो आहे PLC आहे त्याला analog कळत नाही. PLC will understand only digital signal. Okay, so if I am going to use analog module, then I need to use ADC, analog to digital converter, in the analog input module. Okay, because what, analog signals are not understood by the microcontroller or the controller which is used inside the PLC. So for that purpose my analog input module will accept the analog voltage or analog current, whatever that may be, voltage or current signal from the level transmitted field devices. Okay, this input is converted in by analog to digital. Okay, the input is converted from analog to digital value for use by the processor. As the processor does not understand the analog signal, so I need to use ADC. The ADC will convert my analog signal into digital signal. The circuitry of the analog output module. Now what this signal is processed by your processor and the process is going on. Okay, and after whatever the program you have written, as per the program the processor will just accept the signal, execute the program, and then give you the output. So the circuitry of the output analog output module accept the digital value of the processor. ओके, आउटपुट मॉड्यूल काय करेल, तो डिजिटल व्हॅल्यू, कारण प्रोसेसरचं आउटपुट पण अॅनालॉग नाहीये, प्रोसेसरचं इनपुटही डिजिटल आहे आणि आउटपुट पण डिजिटल आहे. ओके, सो द प्रोसेसर सर्किटरी विल accept the signal, okay, execute the signal in the digital form and give the output in digital form. Then we need to convert. If you are using the analog output devices, my analog output devices does not understand the analog digital signal, so I need to convert it back from digital to analog signal. So at the output I am going to use DAC, digital to analog converter. Okay, input side ला काय यूज करणार आहे आपण, ADC, analog to digital converter, आणि आउटपुट मॉड्यूल मध्ये analog output module मध्ये digital to analog converter. Analog input modules normally have multiple input channel. If you are going to use the analog input module, they have multiple analog channel, that may be 4, that may be 8, that may be 16 devices to be interfaced to the PLC. Okay, analog output module मध्ये, input module मध्ये जे येतात आपल्याला ते 4 मध्ये येतील, 4चा सेट असेल, 8चा असेल किंवा 16 devices you can interface with the PLC. The two basic types of analog input modules are voltage sensing and current sensing. दोन टाइपचे मॉड्यूल्स आहेत. Okay, analog input modules may be either voltage sensing type or they may be current sensing type. Okay, so these two modules can be used as per your requirement. Okay, the analog sensors measure varying physical quantity over the specific range and generate a corresponding voltage or current signal. What the analog sensor will do? So analog sensor will measure the physical quantity. What are the physical quantities over here? The physical quantity in this case is level. The physical quantity may be your temperature, it may be pressure, it may be your velocity, acceleration. Okay, so these are the physical quantities. Common physical quantities measured by PLC analog modules are, so for what purpose you are going to use the analog module? So you are using the analog module for measuring the temperature, for measuring the speed, for measuring the level, for measuring the flow, for measuring the weight, for measuring the pressure, and for measuring the position. So these are the parameters. These are the various physical quantities or the parameters which are measured with the help of analog module. सिंपल एक्झाम्पल, आपण जर ग्लोसरी शॉपमध्ये गेलो, किराणा दुकानात गेलो किंवा तुम्ही बाजारामध्ये गेले भाजीपाला घेण्याकरता, आज प्रत्येक जणाकडे डिजिटल वेइंग स्केल आहे. So in the digital weighing scale, he is going to put something. So weight is your analog parameter over there. Okay, that means the pressure. Actually, it will exert or creates a different pressure. So inside that there is a analog to digital and digital to analog converter. Okay, so for example, a sensor may measure temperature over the range 0 to 500 degrees centigrade output corresponding to the voltage signal between which vary between 0 to 50 millivolt. ओके, एक एक्झाम्पल जर घ्यायचं मला, तर आपण एक सेन्सर कन्सिडर करूया, अ टेम्परेचर सेन्सर. दॅट टेम्परेचर सेन्सर इज डिझाईन टू मेजर a 0 to 500 degree centigrade of temperature, and when it will measure the 0 to 500 degree centigrade temperature, it will give you the voltage signal at the output. That voltage signal may be 0 to 50 millivolt. Okay, 0 to 50 millivolt म्हणजे 0 degree temperature असेल तर I will get 0 millivolt. Okay, and if it is 500 degree centigrade, then I will get 50 millivolt. Then I will get 50 millivolt. Okay, 100 degree centigrade ला किती टेम्परेचर आउटपुट व्होल्टेज मिळेल मला? For 100 degree centigrade, what is the output voltage I will get at the output of my temperature sensor? Trushar, Sakshi. Okay, if the temperature sensor gives me 10 millivolt. Okay, so as the temperature sensor gives me 50 millivolt for 500 degree centigrade, so for 100 degree centigrade it will gives me 10 millivolt. Okay, so this is how you can do the calibration. For that purpose you need to do the calibration also. Then 5.23, this is the diagram which was shown for the temperature measurement. This is the industrial PLC that can be used. This is the modular PLC. This is your module, say your PLC. This is input module, output and output module. Additional modules may be connected to this one as required. Okay, illustrate the example of voltage sensing input analog module used for temperature measurement. Okay, the connection diagram applies to Allen Bradley Micrologic 4-channel analog thermocouple input module. And whatever the connection diagram they have given, this is the analog module. Okay, this one is my analog module having the 4 channel. If you are going to observe the channels over here, so it is ion 0, ion 0 plus, ion 0 minus, ion 0, ion 1 plus, ion 1 minus, like this one. This is the minus over here. By mistake it was written plus over here. Okay, this is the common junction over there. Ion 2 plus, ion 2 minus, ion 3 plus, ion 3 minus, like this they have connected. Okay, this is the input sensor, temperature sensor. They are connected to the Allen Bradley Micrologic PLC. Okay, a varying DC voltage in the low millivolt range proportional to the temperature being monitored is produced by the thermocouple. Okay, so what you are going to do in this one? We will measure a varying DC voltage. Okay, a varying DC voltage in the low millivolt range proportional to the temperature being monitored is produced by the thermocouple. Okay, whatever the thermocouple that voltage is, just we have discussed. For 500 ampere it will give you 50 millivolt. For 100 ampere it will give you 10 millivolt. So it will make give you the proportional. And if it is the 50 degree centigrade, it will give me 5 millivolt. Okay, so whatever the temperature, with respect to that temperature, it will give you the proper voltage. This voltage is amplified and digitized by analog input module. So what is going to be happen at this temperature is an AC temperature voltage, as the temperature gives me the quantity in terms of voltage. Okay, and voltage is what your analog parameter, so I need to convert that into the digital parameter. Okay, so the voltage should be amplified and digitized by the analog input module and then sent back to the processor on the command form of program instruction. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I will convert that particular voltage. Say for 100 degrees centigrade I am getting 10 millivolt. That 10 millivolt is going to be amplified and then it is going to be converted into the digital form, that in the case of zero, in terms of zeros and ones, and then it is sent to the processor. Okay, and then that processor will execute in the form of command as the program instruction over there. Okay, and after construction after execution of the program, some output will be given by the processor, that is also analog output. Sorry, that is also digital output. And if I am going to use certain digital devices, then digital output can directly be used. But if I want to use the analog devices, that is solenoid wall or something, okay, so then that time I need to convert again that into the back into the analog form by using the digital to analog converter. Because of the low voltage level of the input signal, as the level of my input signal is low, a twisted shielded pair of cable is used in wiring the circuit to reduce the unwanted electrical noise signal that can be induced in the conductor from other wiring. This is very important over here. Whatever the signals I am going to use, PLC पासून जे आउटपुट सिग्नल मिळणार आहे ते किती असणार आहे तुम्हाला 5 व्होल्ट, आणि त्याचा करंट मॅग्निट्यूड जर तुम्ही विचार केला तर दॅट इज इन द मिली एम्पियर रेंज. These signals are very weak, okay, because of the low voltage level of the input signal. And if I am directly carrying this to the normal cables, what happen, this normal cable may causes the voltage drop and my signal voltage or signal get distorted over there, or the signal because of the voltage drop, whatever the logic I want to given to the output devices may not reach over there. Okay, so what, and second thing is that there may be so much electrical devices operating over there with the high voltage. Okay, so that will produces the electromagnetic field, and that electromagnetic field or the electrical noise signals can distort your original signal, PLC signal. So to avoid that, I need to use the twisted shielded pair cable. So this is the special type of cable that you need to use over here, twisted shielded cable pair, that can be used in wiring of the circuit. This shielding will avoid the electrical noise. Just like if you are going to use certain cables for television च्या cable ला पण shielding असतं. Okay, so the shieldings are proper, that will work as a grounding over there. Okay, so this shielding can be used, or if you are going to use the transfer the audio signals over the long distance, then whatever the cables we are using, that cables are having the very low resistance over there. When using the ungrounded thermocouple, shield must be connected to the ground at the output module. If you are going to use the ungrounded, okay, here ground is very important factor. The ground will the reference with which you are going to measure the voltage level. Okay, so when you are using the ungrounded thermocouple, the shield must be connected to the ground at the output at the module end, whether it is the input module or it may be output module. जिथं कुठे तुम्ही हे यूज केलेलं असेल signal thermocouple use केला, thermocouple is a normally input device, so it should be grounded at the module end to obtain the accurate reading from each of the channel. Okay, if you want to obtain the accurate exact reading from each of the channel, the temperature between the thermocouple wire and the input channel must be compensated for. Okay, so this is the compensation you need to provide for getting the accurate results. Okay, a cold junction compensation thermistor is integrated in the terminal block for this purpose, and for the compensation purpose you need to use the cold junction compensation. A cold junction compensation compensating thermistor is integrated in the terminal block for this purpose. Okay, so the transistor of an analog signal to the digital value, the transistor of an analog signal to the digital value is accomplished by, the transition of analog signal to the digital value is accomplished by analog to digital converter. So whatever the value I am getting over here, that is my analog, and to convert that into digital I need to use the ADC over here, analog to digital converter, the main element of analog input module, and this is the very most important or very important element of your analog input module. Analog voltage input modules are available in two types. So there are two types of analog input modules. They may be unipolar or that may be bipolar. Okay, so now what is unipolar? In case of unipolar module, unipolar modules can accept the input signals that varies in the positive direction only. Okay, so unipolar मॉड्यूल मधला जो इनपुट सिग्नल आहे तो फक्त पॉझिटिव्ह डायरेक्शनला व्हॅरी होतो आणि बायपोलर मधला जो सिग्नल आहे तो पॉझिटिव्ह एज वेल एज निगेटिव्ह डायरेक्शन दोन्हीकडे व्हॅरी होतो. एक्झाम्पल, okay, example of this module is the field devices output is 0 to plus 10 volt. Okay, so if the field devices will give me the output in the range of 0 volt to 10 volt, then I have to use the unipolar module. But if the field devices will give me the output from minus 10 volt to plus 10 volt, then I have to use the bipolar module. The bipolar signal swings between maximum negative value and maximum positive value. So bipolar signals will give measures the value between minus 10 volt to the plus 10 volt. The resolution, this is the second definition which is commonly asked in interview also. So the resolution over here, what is meant by resolution? The resolution of the analog input channel refer to the smallest change in the input signal value that can be sensed and is based on the number of bits used for in the digital representation. So this is the resolution. Resolution of an analog input channel refer to what it refer to? It refers to the smallest change in the input signal that can be sensed. Okay, कमीत कमी किती व्हॅल्यू सेन्स केले जाईल त्याची. Okay, so it is the smallest change. If my voltage is going to be, or if my temperature is going to be changed by 1 degree, then if I am going to just measure that 1 degree change in the temperature, then its resolution is 1 degree over there, and that can be sensed and is based on the number of bits used in digital representation. And how many bits are going to be used for digital representation? So it may be 8 bit, 16 bit, 32 bit. Analog input modules must produce a range of digital value between maximum and minimum values to represent the analog signal over its entire span. Okay, so whatever the analog input module I am going to use over there, they must produce a range of digital values between the maximum value and minimum value to represent the signal over its period of time. Okay, so it's say span of analog input. So if it is a bipolar, for 10 volt it will give me minus 10 volt plus 10 volt, and if it is 5 volt it will give me minus 5 volt plus 5 volt. If it is a unipolar will give me 0 to plus 10 volt. Okay, and 5, if it is a 5 volt, then 0 to 5 volt. Its resolution is 0.3 millivolt, means it can measure the difference of 0.3 millivolt. If the 0.3 millivolt difference is going to be occur in two states, okay, then it can be measured with the help of this one, it can be detected. But if it is 0.2, then it is not detected over there. When connecting the voltage sensing input, if I want to connect the voltage sensing input, close adherence to the specific requirement regarding wire length is important. Okay, so if you are going to go for the voltage sensing, when connecting voltage sensing input, close adherence to the specified requirement regarding wire length is important to minimize the signal degrading and the effect of electromagnetic noise interference induced along the connecting conductors. Okay, so if I am going to use the voltage sensing type, this audio, so I need to take care of this electromagnetic noise interference, as well as we need to minimize requirement regarding the wire length is important to minimize the signal degrading. Signal degrading means what? My signal get the magnitude of the signal may get reduced. Okay, because if the length of the wire will increases, what happen? The voltage drop is increases. When the voltage drop will increases, the signal strength is also decreases. Okay, as voltage is directly proportional to the signal strength over here, and length is inversely proportional. When my length will increases, the voltage will decreases. Okay, so I need to consider that all this. Current input signal which are not as sensitive to the noise as voltage signals are typically not distance limited. So if a distance is the factor over there, then I can go for the current because voltage go on decreasing. ओके, माझ्या लेंथ जर वाढली तर व्होल्टेज कमी होणार, व्होल्टेज ड्रॉप असेल सिस्टीम मध्ये त्यामुळे व्होल्टेज कमी होईल. त्यापेक्षा जर मी करंट इनपुट सिग्नल यूज केला तर करंट इनपुट सिग्नलला आहे ना, दीज आर नॉट सेन्सिटिव्ह टू द नॉइस एज व्होल्टेज सिग्नल अँड टिपिकली दीज आर नॉट लिमिटेड टू द डिस्टन्स. ओके, the current sensing input modules typically accept analog data over the range of 4 milliampere to 20 milliampere. And whatever the current input modules are there, so current sensing input module will accept the data in the range of 4 milliampere to 20 milliampere, but can accommodate the signal range of minus 20 milliampere to plus 20 milliampere. Okay, so the loop power may be supplied by the sensor or may be provided by the analog module as illustrated in 2.24. Shielded twisted pair cable is normally recommended for connecting any type of analog input signal. So which type of cable you are going to use for this one? You have to use only shielded twisted pair cable. Okay, this is very important over there. You need to use only this cable, shielded twisted pair cable can be used only for this purpose. The analog output module interface receives from the processor data, digital data. So whatever the analog output module, so this output module will receive the digital data from the processor, and when it receives the digital data from the processor, and if my devices which are connected to the output are analog, then I need to use the digital to analog converter. So we need to convert the digital signal into analog signal with the help of digital to analog converter, the main element of this analog to output module. An analog to digital converter, so this is the sensor analog module supplies power. This how it is going to supply the power, this was given in the figure. An analog output signal is continuous and changing signal that is varied under the control of PLC program. So what is my output signal? The analog output signal is a continuously changing signal. Its magnitude does not remain constant over the period of time. Its magnitude will change with respect to the time. The common devices controlled by PLC analog module. So what are the output devices? Just for input we are consider that pressure may be there, temperature is there, velocity is there, acceleration is there. Okay, so for the output devices, PLC analog output devices are control valves, chart recorder, electronic diodes. So these electronic diodes are normally used for controlling your AC machines and all these things. Nowadays these are commonly VFD, variable frequency diodes, comes under this one also. So PLC analog output module includes instruments like control valves, chart recorder, electronic diodes and other type of control devices that respond to analog signal. Okay, now this is, they have given the one module over here, high speed counter module. So 2.25 is illustrate the use of IO module in the typical PLC control system. In this application, PLC control the amount of fluid placed in the holding tank by adjusting the percentage of wall opening. So we need to open and close the wall in this case, okay, to maintain the amount of fluid in the tank. The analog output of the PLC is used to control the flow of, so here the analog output of PLC is used to control the flow by controlling the amount of wall opening. Okay, so how you are going to do over here? By what amount I need to open the wall? The wall is initially 100% open 100%. As the fluid in the tank approaches the preset point, the processor modifies the output which adjusts the wall to maintain a set point. Okay, so initially the wall position is 100%. As the tank is going to be filled, so we need to just open it only that, so the level of the tank is going to be maintained over here. So these are your analog input modules and output modules. Now, apart from these analog output module, input module, digital IO modules, okay, other type of special modules are also used. So what are these other types of special modules? So there are different types of special modules which are used for this purpose. One is commonly used at the high speed counter module. In high speed counter module, what you are going to use in the high speed module, high speed control module, the high speed control module is used to provide an interface for application requiring counter speed and surpass the capability of the PLC ladder program. Okay, so basically in high speed control module, the high-speed counter modules are used to count the pulses. So this module is used to count the pulses. Okay, these pulses from sensors, encoders, switching that operate at very high speed. Okay, so these high-speed counter modules are used to count the pulses which are operated at very high speed. Just example for example, if you just go through the Mega Factory show which is going on your National Geography sometimes, so there is one show in that Coca-Cola factory. In Coca-Cola factory, they are going to fill 20 to 100 cans per minute or nearly 1000 bottles per minute, 1000 Coca-Cola bottles per minute or 2200 cans per minute. So it is very high speed. So in that case, I need to measure. If I want to measure how many cans are filled or how many bottles are filled, so I have to go for this high speed control counter module. They have the electronics needed to count independent of the processor. So inside this high speed counter module, if I'm going to rely on the processor, then my signal goes from counter to the processor, means from your say input device to the processor will execute it, then the processor, after execution of the processor will just give the signal to this one back. Okay, so this is required certain time. So instead of this, they have internal circuitry. याच्यामध्ये त्यांचं स्वतःचं circuitry असतं. So if this is the level over there, high speed counter module is shown in the above figure over here. Okay, so it will send the pulses, it will measure the pulses, and they will operate at a frequency of 0 to 100 kilohertz, which means this module can be used to count 1 lakh pulses per second. एका सेकंद मध्ये ते जवळपास 1 लाख ऑब्जेक्ट काउंट करू शकतं किंवा 1 लाख पल्सेस काउंट करू शकतं. दॅट्स वाय देज आर कॉल्ड एज द हाय स्पीड मॉड्यूल, काउंटर मॉड्यूल. Okay, so they are operating at a very high speed frequency, that is 100 kilohertz, means it can calculate nearly how many models, it will calculate nearly 1 lakh objects in 1 minute. Just wait a second. Okay, then thumb wheel module, this thumb wheel module is shown over here. So what is in the thumb wheel module? The thumb wheel module allows the user to use of thumb wheel switches for feeding information to PLC in the form of control program. Okay, so in case of thumb wheel module, this thumb wheel module will allows the user to just give the signal to the PLC in the form of control program. Okay, so this thumb wheel module is shown in figure 2.27 over here. This is the thumb wheel module. So here by pressing this one, I can just give the various means make certain changes in the program. Okay, so here if you are going to press, this value go on decrement, and if you are going to press, the value go on increment. Say I need to just make it 5. So if I want to make it 5, I need to press this positive button. If I make it 2, I need to press this negative button 2 times. Okay, so this is the thumb wheel switch module. Then TTL module. Okay, transistor logic. The TTL module allows the transmission and receiving of TTL logic signal. Okay, so sometimes my PLCs will work on the TTL logic, TTL signal. So at that time I have to use this one, transistor logic. This module allows devices that produce TTL level signal to communicate with the PLC processor, as some devices may use the TTL logic signal, and this TTL logic signal voltage level is different than the voltage level of your PLC. So at that time we need to make both voltage level at the same level. Simple, what is going to be happen? Say I am communicating in English, okay, and someone is communicating in Chinese. I don't understand his language, he don't understand my language, so there may be a miscommunication. Okay, so what I have to do, I need to speak such a language that should be understood by both one. So in same case is going to be happen with PLC. PLC's operating voltage may be different, devices operating voltage may be different. PLC's ऑपरेटिंग व्होल्टेज इज 5 व्होल्ट आणि डिव्हाइसेसचा ऑपरेटिंग व्होल्टेज जर असेल 3.5 व्होल्ट, तर त्याच्यामध्ये कम्युनिकेशन इस्टॅब्लिशच होणार नाही, कारण 3.5 व्होल्ट डिव्हाइसेसचा म्हणजे 1 झालं आणि पीएलसीला 1 केव्हा येईल 5 व्होल्टला. ओके, मग त्याच्यामध्ये पीएलसीला कळणारच नाही डिव्हाइसेस आपल्यासोबत काय कम्युनिकेट करत आहे. सो what I have to do, I need to maintain the voltage level of my field devices and the PLC at same level. So I need to use the TTL modules over there, or the signal conditioning circuit over there. Now, encoder counter module. The encoder counter module allows the user to read the signal from encoder. Okay, so this is the encoder counter module which will read the signal from the on real time basis and store the information so that it can be read later by the processor. So these modules will read the information on real time basis. Okay, कुठल्या बेसिसला ते रीड करतायत इन्फॉर्मेशन रिअल टाइमला, म्हणजे at what instant the information is going to change, at the same instant it is going to be read. This is the real time encoder module over there. Now next is, and it is going to be real time means what, at the same moment when the change will take place, at the same moment it is going to be detected. Basic or ASCII module. The basic or ASCII means American Standard for Information Interchange, American Standard Code for Information Interchange. So the basic or ASCII module runs the several user written basic or C program. Okay, these programs are these programs are independent of the processor and provide an easy and fast interface between the remote origin devices and the PLC processor. Typical application include interface to the bar code reader, robot, printer, display. Okay, so when I am going to go for this module, basic or ASCII module stand for American Standard Code for Information Interchange. Okay, so these programs are not written inside the PLC. These programs are written inside the modules over there. Okay, these programs are independent of the PLC processor and provide an easy and fast interface between the remote origin devices and the PLC processor. These typical applications of this one are barcode reader. ओके, तुम्ही शॉपिंग मॉल वगैरे मध्ये बघतात बारकोड रीडर असतात, रोबोट्स, प्रिंटर, डिस्प्ले. ओके, त्याकरता वी आर गोइंग टू यूज सच टाइप ऑफ मॉड्यूल. Then stepper control module. The stepper control module provides pulse train to the stepper motor transition. Okay, so basically as we have already discussed, what is the stepper motor? The stepper motor will increment or change its position in the stepwise manner. Say I cannot give the direct DC supply or your AC supply to the stepper motor. Just like all the motors, whatever the, if I am giving the supply to the fan motor, then it will complete its rotation within a single step. The stepper motor has to complete its rotation in number of steps. Okay, so 360 degrees is the one rotation, one turn. Okay, so for making the 360 degree one turn, it requires number of steps. So these steps are these signals for making the increment through the particular steps. These signals are provided in the form of pulses. Okay, we need to provide the pulses. These pulses may be like this one. Okay, so this is a stepper motor. This is your one pulse. This is second pulse. This one is your third pulse. We need to provide the pulses in this manner. Then only when the pulse is provided at that time, it will make the movement. Otherwise, it will stop over there. So stepper motor requires the pulses for its operation. The command for the modules are determined by the control program in the PLC. So for that purpose, it uses the control program in the PLC. And these modules are used for driving or running your stepper motors. BCD output module. This is BCD means your binary coded decimal. BCD output modules enable the PLC to operate the devices that require BCD code signals such as 7 segment display. 7 segment display ला मला जर digit display करायचे असतील तर I need to use the BCD code over there, and this can be for that purpose I need to use the BCD output module over there. The BCD output module is shown over here, 7 segment display, and inside that there is a BCD output module. Some special modules are also referred as intelligent I/O module because they have their own microprocessor on the board that can function in the parallel with the PLC. This includes, okay. Apart from this, there are special modules, and these modules have their own processor inside the module itself. And these modules are PID module. PID stand for your proportional, integral, and derivative actions. The PID modules is used in the process control application that incorporate PID algorithm. So P stand for proportional, I stand for integral, and D stand for your derivative. Okay, P stand for your proportional control, I stand for your integral control, and D stand for your derivative control. Okay, so these are the three controls which are commonly used in the process industry. I use in the process control applications that incorporate PLC algorithm. An algorithm is a complex program. What is the algorithm? An algorithm is a complex program based on mathematical calculation. So algorithm is normally a complex program which is based on the mathematical calculation. A PID module allows process control to take place outside the CPU. So when I am going to use the PID module, whatever the process, whatever the controls which are going to take, these are going to take place outside the CPU of your microcontroller or of CPU of your PLC. This arrangement prevents the CPU from being burdened with the complex calculation. So inside the PLC PID module, there is a separate processor which will take care of the calculations which need to be carried out, so that the burden on my PLC is going to be decreases. The basic function of this module is to provide the control action. Why these PID modules are used? Because they need to provide the control action required to maintain the process variables such as temperature, flow, level, speed within the set limit of specified set point. Okay, so PID modules are used to maintain the control variable within certain limit. Okay, as per the requirement of my system. When this variable may be temperature, that may be flow, that may be level, that may be speed. Okay, then motion and position control. Okay, motion and position control modules are used in application involving accurate high speed machining and packaging operation. Okay, so if you are going to observe certain mega shoes factories or mega factories in which there is a packing machine which is going to pack thousands of bottles per minute, or like this one, high speed machines are there. At that time they are going to use such type of motion and position control. Intelligent position and motion control modules permit PLC to control stepper and servo motors, and with this the PLC can control the stepper motor as well as servo motor. This motion and position control modules looks like this one. Okay, then these sorry. Now PLC servo module. These systems require a drive which contain power electronics that translate the signal from PLC module into the signal required by the motor. This basically servo motor. Servo motors works on the error signal. Okay, the working of servo motor is totally dependent on the error signal. So this, what is the nature of the error signal, that will decide the working of my servo motor. Just like the stepper motor works on the steps. Okay, how many step signals are provided per second or per minute, based on that the motor will make movement. In case of servo motor, this servo motor signals is the error signal. What is the difference between your actual input, actual output, and the desired output? Okay, so based on that error signal, the servo motor will make the transition. One example is the servo voltage stabilizer over there, which will maintain the output voltage constant irrespective of the input voltage. The communication module, this is the commonly used module. Serial communication modules are used to establish point to point connection with other intelligent devices for exchange of data. So in this case, if I want to exchange the data between two systems, I need to use the establish the communication channel, and to establish the communication channel we are normally using the serial communication. Such connections are normally established with computer, operating station, operator station, process control system, and other PLC communication module. Okay, and other PLC communication module allows, what is the function of communication module? The communication module allows the user to connect PLC to the high speed local network that may be different from your network provided with the PLC. Okay, so with the communication channel module, I will connect my PLC with the various high speed local network, which may be in the different network on which with which my PLC will communicate. So this is my communication module. With the communication module, so this is my PLC over here. With the help of this serial communication module, I connect it with the HMI. I connect with certain other communication modules, or the Ethernet port is there. Then I will communicate with the PCU also. So this communication, this is the communication module. With this communication module, we can establish the communication with the different PLC. You can establish the communication with the SCADA system. You can establish the communication with the HMI. Okay, and other Ethernet modules which are connected in the local area network also. So this is sufficient for today's lecture. Rest of the things we will discuss in the